Hi guys, my name is Sarah. Welcome back to the channel, and those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining me. Today what I want to discuss is thoughts. How we can use our thoughts to become the best version of ourselves, and how we can control our thoughts to benefit us and help us to have a good life, a life that we deserve. So I don't know if you've heard this before, but we've got about 70,000 thoughts. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep the camera still. It's very windy here. So back to what I was saying, we've got about 70,000 thoughts each day. And these thoughts are very much continuous, and they stream very continuously. Now, the thing is, we've been told that we are our thoughts, okay? That is not true, but there's an element of truth to it as well. Stay with me. What I mean by this is that it's true. There's so many different thoughts constantly streaming through ourselves, through our mind, our consciousness. But these thoughts are not actually our thoughts, okay? They're not our thoughts. Do you know how we know that this is not our thoughts? Because they are continuous and they're streaming, and because if you close your eyes right now, and you will be able to observe the different thoughts that you're having, okay? So try this. Close your eyes and pay attention to what thoughts are coming up. And don't try to control them. Don't try to challenge them. Don't try to entertain one or not the other. Just observe these thoughts. And you will find that they are continuous. They are flowing. And they're different. They have different subjects, different tones, different feelings. So that's for sure that we are not our thoughts. You will notice that you're simply observing them. You're the observer. So how can we take control of our thoughts? The first thing to do would be to imagine your thoughts being on a conveyor belt, and you are the observer that is standing over this conveyor belt, okay? So those continuing streams of thought are things that are on a conveyor belt, and you are the observer. Okay, so I've just got a small thing on my foot, sorry about that. So you are the observer of these thoughts, and you get to choose a thought that you want to have. So you essentially get to pick off the conveyor belt what thought you're going to entertain, and you get to discard what thought you don't want to entertain. So by you visualizing yourself as an observer and being an observer of your thoughts, you can now differentiate, and you can now have the power to separate yourself from your thoughts. This then will give you an opportunity to pick and choose which thought that you like to have. See, when you have a thought and you tune into that thought and you give it your attention, what follows is always a feeling, okay? So if you pick a good thought to give attention to, what you end up having is a good feeling in your body, and that good feeling in your body will result in you taking action, a positive action, and that positive action will result in you having a positive outcome, and so on and so forth. It's the same for picking a negative thought. If you choose a thought that is negative and you pay attention to it, guess what will happen? That thought will expand and you will have a feeling that's attached to the thought, and it won't be good. Then you will take an action which is in line with that thought, which is not a positive action, and then that will have a negative result, so on and so forth. So the bottom line is, it is our choice. It's our choice to choose which thoughts we'll pick up from the conveyor belt of 70,000 or more thoughts we have per day. Now, I know this is easy said than done, but with practice, we can do this. You can do this. So the first step in beginning this change is to, number one, be the observer of this thought. You're observing the thoughts. So you are creating a separation between you and the thoughts. The second one is, you are the decision maker. You get to choose which thought you're going to pay attention to. Okay? And by you consciously choosing which thought you're paying attention to, it is empowering you to make better choices that feel good to you and your body, and will be beneficial for you short term and long term. And the third thing is not to believe every thought that runs through our brains, especially not the negative ones. So by us consciously being aware that we are not our thoughts, we are the observer, we are the decision maker, and we get to choose what we give our attention to, we get empowered. Okay? Now, like I said, this is not an easy process to do, and it's easier said than done, but I promise you, the more you practice this, the better you will be at identifying which thoughts are beneficial for you and which thoughts are not beneficial for you. Okay? And these two different streams of thoughts come from our higher consciousness, which wants the best for us, and sometimes it might not be so easy to always try and pick the positive thoughts, but do it anyway, because eventually it will be easier. Okay? And the other source of our thoughts is our lower self. So those are thoughts that always make us feel cut down. They always make us feel we're not enough. They're fearful thoughts. Okay? And sometimes, please be aware that fearful thoughts can sometimes be disguised as protection or being careful, being safe, but actually this is an actual disguise that your lower self makes to make you fearful and limited and continue to choose fearful thoughts. Of course, you have to be strategic, and you have to be smart about your safety and things like that. But it doesn't mean that by you entertaining fearful thoughts and taking precaution and taking over precaution, you're protecting yourself. Sometimes it's the opposite, okay? So you got to find that right balance for you. But ultimately, the decision is up to you, whether you're going to entertain and attach to positive thoughts, or you're going to entertain and attach to negative thoughts. Because ultimately, choice by choice, decision by decision, action by action, this will have a big impact on your life. Okay? And you want to be in a position where you've made choices based on hope, based on positivity, based on success, and based on goodness, rather than decisions based on fear, decisions based on limitation, and decisions based on unworthiness. So I want to encourage you to remember that you have the power to choose your thoughts, and I hope that you can practice these. And I'm also doing the same, and I know it's not easy, it's always a challenge, but I believe in you, and together we can do this. I hope to see you soon, and take good care.